Good morning, boys and girls. So yesterday we started working on our plot mountain. And so I'm going to go ahead and continue working on my plot mountain just to show you what you are going to be adding today. So yesterday we worked on the introduction, the climax, the resolution, just to get that big picture set up. So now we're going to focus more on the rising action, the falling action, just some of those littler events that are going to come in to make the story have a little bit more action, have a little bit more adventure, and just have it be a little bit more fun. So with your rising action and your falling action, if you would like to just write sentences, just write a little paragraph, that's great. If you want to use bullet points, that is great as well. So I'm going to go ahead and remind you how to do bullet points if you'd like to do those. So first, what you're going to need to make sure we do is press enter after we get that cursor blinking in there. And then you're going to come up here where it says bulleted list, click on that, and then you can choose any of the bullets that you would like. I personally always like just using the round circles, keeps everything nice and neat. So yesterday we talked about Kendra and Beth, how they were friends for a long time. They had their unicorn pet named Rainbow, and then we talked about this giant coming and taking Rainbow away. So before we get into that climax again and then get to our resolution, we need to add some information to our rising action to add a little bit more detail between them being friends and then the giant taking Rainbow. So we're going to start by saying that they were playing outside when they heard a loud scream. Okay, now Kendra and Beth, so I'm just going to say Kendra and Beth, grew up hearing stories of giants that lived in the woods, but always thought they were not true. So, because they didn't think they were true, they turned around and went back to playing. Okay? And then while they were playing, that's when the giant comes walking through. So we do need to add just a little bit about the giant information as well, so we make sure to add that in there. So we're going to say the giant came stomping through the forest, through the woods, to where Kendra and Beth were playing. So now we're to the point, we're at our climax, where when Kendra and Beth were not looking, the giant took Rainbow, their unicorn, and ran back to his cottage. So now we need to work on the falling actions, those actions, those events that happen between the climax and the resolution. So from when the giant took Rainbow to when they're now all back home safe and sound and live happily ever after. So with our falling action, boys and girls, I'm going to do the same thing. Just come down here. Again, if you would like to use sentences, that's great. If you just want to use some bullet points, that's great as well. So again, you're going to press enter, go up to bulleted list, click on that black circle. Okay, so we're going to start by saying Kendra and Beth ran after the giant, but could not find him. Okay, so then after they ran after him, this is where my other character that I'm thinking about needs to come into play. So this is where our fairy godmother appears and shows them the way to the giant's cottage. Okay, once they get there, they do find the giant, but then they also have a conversation with him. So this is where we're going to add some dialogue a little bit later as well, boys and girls, to make sure we have some ideas for that. So the giant, and when they talked to him, he took Rainbow because his unicorn, let me go back and fix that real quick, ran away. So he was sad. Okay, and then the last thing that we're going to say with this is that the giant gave Rainbow back. So now if we wanted to add in a little bit later about the giant giving Rainbow back, and if maybe Kendra and Beth decide to let Giant come play some more with Rainbow, or if they want to go visit him in the woods, we can always add that later. So boys and girls, your goal right now with the rising and the falling action, you don't need to have 4 events. I know that's a lot, but some of these we are going to be able to tie together very nicely. You need to have at least 3. I'll come back up here so I can let you know. At least 3 events for rising action. Okay, we're going to highlight that as well, so there's no questions on that. And then for falling action, you need at least 2. And remember, with this falling action, it's not going to be necessarily big events. It just needs to be those little events that's going to help lead to our resolution, our denouement, and help finish out our play. All right, boys and girls, go have fun. Think about those rising actions, falling actions. Again, have fun with this. Add as much detail as you can so that when we do get into dialogue, we do get into all the descriptions that we need. It's going to be much easier for us to bring this picture, this play together. All right, boys and girls, go have fun, and I'll talk to you again tomorrow.